Tell me about OpenAI's trademark strategy.
Yeah, it's definitely a dumpster fire. So essentially, OpenAI has two core trademarks. It's got OpenAI, which is its company name, and GPT, which is what it calls all of its models. And GPT is an acronym for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So the problem with both of those trademarks is that they're very descriptive and they haven't been able to get them registered in Australia.
Have they been able to get them registered anywhere?
I think they have in some countries, but they're experiencing this issue in other jurisdictions as well. And as well as the descriptiveness issue for GPT, they also have the problem where there's another company with the acronym trademark for something else entirely, and that company is opposing OpenAI's trademarks in Australia. So they don't have ChatGPT registered, they don't have any of the GPT model names registered, and they don't have OpenAI as a word trademark registered.
So they don't have any of their main brands protected.
No. And I think it's unclear whether or not they actually will be able to get them registered. The thing with OpenAI is obviously, as one of the most valuable companies in the world, they've got an unlimited amount of money that they can spend trying to get this through. But the trademarks are very descriptive. And so even for a company with unlimited money, it's going to be difficult. All of the LLMs are technically GPTs. And so that's a huge problem. And that's why you want to avoid descriptiveness issues with your trademarks.
What should they have done?
Well, I think, in hindsight, they should have come up with more distinctive trademarks right at the very beginning. Clearly.
Should have got some trademark advice.
Yeah, they should have got some trademark advice.
And so where do they go to from here?
Well, I think they're going to continue to try and get them through. Obviously, they're committed to the names, and they're also a very well-known company. And so they're definitely building up strong evidence and acquired distinctiveness in those trademarks around the world. So they might be able to get them through one day, but it's going to be a very costly and it's already been a time-consuming exercise. So they're going to be spending quite a lot of money pushing this through worldwide. A similar thing is happening with Meta as well. Meta don't have Meta trademarked as a word mark in Australia. And that's also because it's descriptive. It's very clearly taken from the metaverse, which is, what kind of triggered the name change in the first place. And also there are a lot of companies that have already got rights over the word meta. So that's another lengthy and, expensive battle that's going on. And it just goes to show that even if you're a tech giant and driving a $100 billion company, you can still have the same trademark issues as everyone else.
Yeah, I guess these big players just have the money to fund it.
Exactly. For, any other business, it's going to be a question of whether you rebrand. And in a lot of cases, if you do want that brand protection, you're going to need to change your brand. And that might be a more cost-effective approach rather than trying to fight what might ultimately be a battle that you can't win. When you do have the benefit of unlimited legal resources, you do have some options, but even still, the law applies equally to everyone. And unless they can get a clear path forward, they won't ultimately get their trademarks registered.